Hi there, everybody. Bad Raven here to do another review of a movie that I've been really looking forward to watching. But I guess you tell by the intro that things didn't go the way I planned them to go. I expected to be really excited and happy with the movie and be able to tell you all this stuff about it and how I loved it and all this, but I just can't lie. This was a bad movie. Not for visually, looks visually stunning. The alien looked really good, probably the best it's ever looked. But as for story, they used to say that, story, you gotta have a story. And it don't matter how great the special effects are, or how great the cinematography is. If you don't have a story, you don't have anything. And this movie definitely personifies that statement. I don't know where it went wrong. Now, this is going to be a spoiler review. It's not spoiler free. It's definitely going to be a spoiler review because there's no other way to talk about why I dislike this movie so much than to tell you some parts that are really not good. Ridley Scott is a great director. I want that known. Ridley Scott is a great director. Most of these actors are probably really good actors and actresses. But they only can be as good as the material. The director can be only as good as the material. His vision sometimes can save a movie and sometimes hurt a movie. His vision didn't really, I don't know, it hurt, it looked good. It looked filmed well. But the story stunk. And that's a nice way of saying it without being rated R, which, I love rated R sci-fi movies. I love rated R horror movies. I like rated R comedy movies. Dramas, rated R dramas are great. But the rated R didn't help this. The blood, there was plenty of blood. And I've seen a lot of blood in movies. I've seen Friday the 13th movies. I've seen Halloween movies. I've seen all kinds of science fiction movies like The Thing. It's got blood and gore everywhere on it. I like that movie. And this one was just gore to be gore. They could do it in a lot more convincing way, and they did it in several different ways. The original Alien, you had the, spoiler on the original Alien, he busted out the front of the chest, But this alien, they figured they would really stretch the envelope with this alien. Which I know it's technically not the alien from the original Alien movie, the very first Alien. In the movie, there's a different type of thing. It gets sucked into their ears or their nose or something from little spores on the planet. And it can break out anywhere into a organism. Goes in there and gets in the skin some way. And they had a little bit of that in the Prometheus movie before this. And it can come out anywhere. Come out your mouth, come out your back, come out anywhere. Chest, wherever it wants to come out. And it's white instead of, like a black alien. So, they've showed that they can do that. Yeah. Special effects wise, look good. Where to start? There's so many places to start with this movie. I might as well start with the movie. The movie's Alien Covenant. It's directed by Ridley Scott, then the original Alien, and Prometheus. It's got Michael Fassbender. He plays David and Walter in this one. And that's why I said spoiler, because he's two different characters, two different androids, but basically the same character from different years. Got Catherine Watson, that's Daniels. Danny McBride is Tennessee. Now that's weird, like in the original Alien we had a Dallas character. Now we got a Tennessee character. They really stretched the writing in this movie to really go outside the box. So instead of we have a Dallas guy named Dallas like in the original Alien, we got Tennessee. That's different. That's new. That is something, to take notice of. Now this one's kind of weird. You got Naomi Rapace from plays Elizabeth Shaw, was from the first movie. She's not in the movie. She's not. She's from the first movie. She leaves the planet, and you think, wow, I wonder what happened to her. We find out she's dead. She's dead. But David the android loves her, so that makes sense. So I don't know if she's got credit on the website of being in the movie. Well, they show her, dead body or dead face. So if she got a paycheck for that, she done good. You got Billy Crudup, plays Christopher Oram. He's the wimpiest second in command I've ever seen. And the dumbest too, I must say. He wonder why the crew don't respect him. They say he thinks that they don't respect him because he's got a religious background or faith. He's got faith, and they don't really ever explain that besides them saying he does. Kind of walks around like Kylo Ren did with his mask off with the runny, crying eyes, ready to cry at a drop of the hat most of the time. You got Guy Pearce in the very beginning. He was in the Prometheus. He's the creator of the David character, the android. And it's about, him creating David, and David wanted to know who created him. Not David created David, but created the creator, which was Peter Whalen in the movie. Guy Pearce was, and him telling him about that situation. So they kind of do a makeup of that. And James Franco was in this movie. The best James Franco scene I've ever seen, because it only lasted about a minute. He's like the dead husband of the Catherine Watson Daniels character. So you get to see a little clip of him. I didn't even know he was in the movie. I don't know, he's know me. I guess they both got good checks for that. I don't know. Or maybe they did it for just for the Ridley Scott. But that's the main characters. Okay, we got this ship. I'm going to tell you the rundown of the movie, the basic outline, and this is spoilers. There's spoilers in all this. They're taking a bunch of colonists on this ship called the Covenant, and they got I don't know how many thousands of people that's going to populate the new planet they're heading to, and they got a crew of about 14 people or 17 people, something like that. And they're heading that way. They're in hyper sleep. And of course, the new android looks just like David, Michael Fassbender's character. It's called Walter. It's a new updated version. And because the other one in Prometheus is, disappeared. And he's like watching the ship while they have to sleep another 7 years to get to their planet they're wanting to get to have a habitat with, and colonize with the colonists that's in their hyper chambers. So something always happens. They always have to have something happen. These are the kind of movies, and I understand that. You got to have something happen for all the stuff to make sense. So they get a signal, which is very original. I don't know if I've ever seen an alien movie where they get a signal from some other aircraft. Not aircraft, but some kind of spaceship or something. Because I vaguely remember Alien, the classic. That was what honed them in on the signal for the planet was a distress signal. So guess what? In this movie, we get a distress signal again. Great writing again. That's great. I mean, who would have thought that you would do the exact same thing as the first Alien? I mean, that really it's outside the box. Anyway, they're going to go down there. But I have to back up a little bit. Another stupid thing happens. The captain gets burned up, and the second in command has to take over. And he is going to run this ship like a total wimp. But he decides, since he's in command for a whole day, that they get this signal, and they're going to replot the whole thing. A whole trip was supposed to be another 7 years to the next planet so they can colonize. All right, so he says, all right, we already got a planet here that we didn't see, that we scanned this place B and Z in times, but we see this planet and it's inhabitable too. So guess what? Nobody wants to get in their cryo chambers anymore because of the original captain burn up in his, so I can see why they didn't want to. So then we're just going to decide to use this planet. So what's the big idea this great commander, this great leader does? He gets everybody on a ship, except maybe 4 crew members, and they go down there to check it out. They want to check out and see if it's a livable place. When does the captain ever go in a ship with the regular people on the crew and check something out? You don't know anything about this planet. Did these people were they not trained at their school or wherever before they went on this big trip? Were they not astronauts? Were they have to go through a grueling regimen of physical and mental tough sayings that they have to go through? Did they not teach them protocol of how to do their job and not to contaminate the entire place? No, they all jump on a ship and they head down to the surface to a planet they know absolutely nothing about. That makes sense. If I was a writer, I would write that too. Makes no sense that a crew would do this. But nonetheless, we put all logic aside and go down to the planet. I guess the drones were not invented back in those days, which is supposed to be way in the future, like 2190 or something. And they don't send down some little rover or something to kind of check out and see if there's anything deadly in the atmosphere or anything that could kill you or if there's any other civilization there. They just all decide to get in a big ship and go down there and land. Because what could happen? What could happen to your crew on this kind of thing? Nothing. They found a perfect planet. So nonetheless, they land. And while they're there, of course, they step on a few little things that might have some major organisms in them. A couple people get contaminated. And, of course, you always split up when this stuff happens. You have one group here, another group there. So one's further out. One's taking samples. The wife of the new leader, the captain, is with a guy, and he steps on one of these things, goes in his ear, and he's getting sick. So she's trying to get him back to the ship. There's only one woman on the ship. And he's like throwing up blood, and he's like convulsing and everything. And they get him to the ship. And the woman at the ship's thinking, oh no, maybe we shouldn't bring him in here. Big major contamination. But I'll forget that. Just bring him on in. And they're trying to call other people in the system. They're trying to call the main ship. They're trying to call the people coming up that's further out ahead of them, and that's breaking up because there's a storm coming or something. And they only get like 2 or 3 words in edgewise. Well, they get the sick guy into the sick bay, and the woman that's with him, it's covered in blood, is like, we need to do something for him. And the woman that's like that was on the ship to begin with, the doctor type character, is like freaking out. So she like locks them both together, and he's like going through some major convulsions and getting ready to, back split open to a big creature to be released. And she locks them in, and she runs back to her thing, and she calls Tennessee, the guy still on the ship, and that's her husband, and she tells her, oh, something bad's going to happen. He says, well, slow down. And she takes time out of her day of all this danger to say, don't tell me to calm down. I'm having some major issues down here. So she's giving him the wife back talk when all heck is breaking loose. Who wrote that was a genius. That's how everybody in real life does. They give it right back to their husband. When they're on a planet they don't know nothing about and a creature's getting ready to bust out somebody's back, you tell your husband off for talking back to you like that. That is a great writing. I commend them on that. That really is something somebody would do in their right mind. Anyway, She goes back, and of course, the thing starts breaking out of his chest. And then she decides to open the door. Now she's going to help the woman. Got a gun and everything. Slips on the blood, shoots through the roof, everything in the world. The woman's already dead by then that she's trying to save. She runs out, gets the door closed, and guess what? The place that they have to hold the contaminated creatures has breakable glass. It can withstand probably everything else in space, but it can't withstand a little creature busting through it. So it gets out, of course. She shoots up everything in the ship, including the gasoline or whatever the thing runs on, and blows up the whole ship, and that thing is able to get out. The creature is able to get out, and the woman is dead because she's the worst shot in the whole Federation. Anyway, the rest of them are like coming up, walking. Oh yeah, we'll be there in a minute. We know you're having problems. The captain, the backup captain's like, you're having problems. We're getting there as quick as we can, slow as can be. When they see the big fireball, they speed up. So they finally get there. You see his wife's toast, and all of a sudden, all these creatures are like coming out of the woodwork. No, they didn't send a probe down, of course not. But they can't ever get organized until another character comes along, sends up a flare, and says, "Follow me," and they all go in single file, running like maniacs with him, don't know him from Adam, and they just run after him. Great decision making. Great decision making. I know they don't want to stand there and get killed. They're going to do whatever they can to survive. But it's stupid. These are trained people. Maybe they're not trained to be military, but they're trained. But anyway, part of my rant there. The crew is stupid. The story is stupid. And they can't say two words without saying an F word. I mean, the woman that was getting in the contamination place was trying to get out, and every other word was F, and give me all this F in place, F and F'er, F, and F. I understand she's about ready to get killed. She's going to use some bad language. I understand that. I'm not an idiot. But even later on, anything that they did, any high five moments, F this, we're going to F and kill that thing, F and, let's give me some F and coffee, whatever. It's always an F in there. And I'm not a prude. I've seen movies with, bad language. I watched Deadpool. I just like it to be used, it's just used as a adjective or a noun or adverb or whatever the heck it was used in this movie. They just used it overly. It's like the writer is sitting there saying, "What? We need a word here, but I can't think of a word that would be good. So let's put the F word. All right. F word. Check. We need one other one here. Oh, that works great there too. Check. Hey, you got this guy doing a scene here. Let's do it here. Oh, it works for everything. All right. The crew makes stupid decisions left and right. And I know it's a horror film, and if they didn't make stupid decisions, things wouldn't happen. People wouldn't get killed. And we need to get people to get killed. We need a lot of kills by the alien. We got to have a lot of deaths, a lot of gory deaths, because we're not just doing the gore and stuff for the matter of the film. We just got to show it, because we got to have so many kills by such and such time. So, we have our equal amount of showing that we're really putting this out here, They keep saying the backup captain is a man of faith. Doesn't show anywhere in it that he's doing anything that he's a very religious person. They just keep talking about it. The dialogue is like some of the dumbest dialogue I've ever heard. And I've heard a lot of dumb dialogue. It was just a big major waste of time. It was just, I could go on to the end of the movie, and they have attacked on, they get off the place, and they're going all the way into every detail. They get off the crew, and there's only like, I think it's like 2-3 of them left, and they get back, and it's like she goes to sleep, and then all of a sudden it's like another part of the movie starts, and they're like, there's an alien on that ship, And they have to go through the things of trying to find it. And of course, after 14 people, there may be like 17, there's like 17 crew members, and there's like 4 left now, and 2 of them are married that was on the ship. They decide, since, they lost their whole crew and they're all down, let's go to the shower and have sex. I mean, because, it's been a long day. You've lost almost the whole crew, and, who wouldn't want to have sex? I mean, that's the best aphrodisiac you could ever have. I mean, all this going on, and you feel still able to have that intimate moment with your lover, with your wife. And of course, the alien just happens to know where all the showers are on this ship that he's never been on in his life. And he goes straight to them and finds them. And we get some good kills there and good blood. Get a little nudity in there, which I love nudity. I've got nothing against a good nude scene, all right? But to put stuff in there just for shock value is ridiculous. I don't know what they had people like watching it and telling them things they should do. It just didn't seem like there was any, I don't know. I can't even describe it. It's just a very poorly put together movie. They had years to put this together. I think it's been a while since Prometheus has been out. Maybe I'll post right here when Prometheus came out, but you would think that they had a lot of time to be able to think of where they wanted to go with this. It's like somebody said, we need more aliens, and we need them now. We need more deaths. We need more blood. We need stupider crew. We need a dumb storyline, and we'll stick it all together, and we can make tons of money. Because, the Prometheus didn't make a big lot. It made respectable money, I guess. But they were trying to get back to the original Alien, which I liked, like I said, the looks of the alien. But, like I said, if you don't have a good story, it doesn't matter. I can care less about those characters. I tell you, I didn't care if they lived or died. When the alien you're rooting for the alien, something's wrong. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know how these people got in control of a $1 billion spaceship. I wouldn't let them drive me to the daggone Walmart. Needless to say, I was very disappointed. I give this way thumbs down. 1 out of 10, maybe a -6. But please don't go watch this movie. If you have to, I like the Alien franchise. I like the first 2 for sure. And I had hope. I even kind of okay with Prometheus. It wasn't great, but I watched it the other night before I went and seen this again, to refresh my memory. But that made that one look like a classic compared to this one. Charlie Brown looked like a classic. Just don't waste your time. You see what I did with the ticket. I keep those tickets. I always keep tickets of movies I see. I didn't want to keep this ticket. It's tore up in the garbage can, you saw. Well, just leave a comment. Tell me what you think. I won't be mad if you like it. Everybody's entitled to the opinion, I understand. But I hated it. I did not like it. I will not be putting it in my collection. I don't know if somebody gave it to me, I would put it in my collection. Now, if they paid me, maybe I'd put it in my collection. I don't know. I don't know if they even paid me. Unless it was like $100, maybe I would do it. But no, I don't think I'll be adding it to my collection anytime soon. So if they get another sequel to this, I'm not going to be seeing it because, I don't think they're going to make another one. But I have no reason. I don't care anything about it. I don't want to see the storyline continue. Nothing against the actors, directors. Somebody will drop the ball on the script. But I'll let you go. Like I said, leave a comment. Tell me what you think. Like and subscribe if you like this review. Sorry if I spoiled anything for you, but I did tell you it had spoilers in it. But always remember, the Bad Raven is your friend, and he wants you to watch good movies. But sometimes we can't get that. But we appreciate your views, and we'll let you go, and bye.